on, guys? So I'm here today at Cecil County Dragway to hopefully set the stock world record for the fastest quarter mile on a 2017 ZL1. I just installed drag radials on the back. That's the only thing that is not stock on the car. However, I've used the stock wheels, everything else. It's funny, we actually, to make these fit on the car, we had to use 1/4-inch wheel spacers because they were rubbing in the inside of the wheel well. But I think we're good now. It's a little tight here. I think we'll be okay. Hopefully the car doesn't squat a lot and it rubs, but I guess there's only one way to find out. So these should be a lot better than Ditto NT05R drag radials. These are what I used on my 5th gen ZL1 to get the quarter mile time, the current one. But that's a whole different story. But either way, I'm hoping to beat at least the 10.8, which is the stock Hellcat quarter mile time on drag radials. I think it ran like a 10.8, low 10.8. So if I can hit a 10.7, or I mean, if I hit a 10.6, I'll be happy. I'll call it a day. But we'll see what this car can do. Alrighty, so ran the first pass, 11.1.6 at 127 miles an hour, which is a higher trap speed. So because I was spinning, I did a 1.8 60 foot, which I think, I mean, I know I can do a better one. It's unfortunately, right before I went staged, literally, like I was about to do a burnout, and then some car broke down. They cleaned the track off or something like that. So usually when they do that, the next few passes suck for people because it's, you know, it's just not like it was. So if we can get the cars going in a kind of like keep running and stuff, warm the track back up, I'm hoping to cut at least a 1.6 60 foot to drop my time down at least to like a 10.8 or a 10, you know, 10.9 maybe. Alrighty guys, so back at home now, and I just wanted to review the times. I raced 4 times. My last race wasn't good. I spun really bad coming out of the hole, so I didn't even count that. I just kind of slowly went down the track and ran a 12-1. But the very first race was the world record breaker and setter. Now, Vengeance Racing raced this car on stock tires, and they also raced this car on drag radials, the same thing I had done. And they ran an 11.34 on drag radials, and I believe 11.4 or 11.5 on stock tires, which is what Chevy claims. Chevy claims this car will run an 11.5 at 120 whatever miles an hour. I don't know what the trap speed is, but and it also claims a 3.5 second 0 to 60. But I did the quarter mile in 11.16, so I ran an 11.16, 127.8 miles an hour on drag radials. That was my best run, even though honestly I probably could have gotten an even better run. If I had a better 60-foot time, we're talking 10-second quarter mile, possibly a 10.8. What my goal was to do was basically to beat a Hellcat, because you know, when Dodge released the quarter mile time on the Hellcat, it was an 11.7, right? And then they decided, oh, but with drag radials, it'll do a 10.8. So I wanted to kind of do the same thing and say, well, instead of this car running an 11.5, well, with drag radials, it'll run a whatever. Well, tonight I was able to at least get it down to 11.1. But like I said, my goal for the car is really to get it down to a 10.8. The car, I know it's faster than a Hellcat. I know that for a fact. Unfortunately, tonight I wasn't able to achieve a perfect time. I still set the world record though currently, so the current world record right there is 11.16. 127 miles an hour. You can see my 60-foot wasn't very good though, you know. So if I could get a 1.6 or even a 1.5 60-foot, that quarter mile time is going to go down a lot. So you're probably wondering, like in the beginning of the video I told you about the tires. I'm going to show you exactly what I ended up doing here. Now, these are the same tires I ran on my 5th gen ZL1. These are Nitto NT05R drag radials. These rims are obviously the stock rims. They're 20 by 11 rims. Now, the 5th gen ZL1s also came with 20 by 11 rear. So I figured, same tires will come on these, right? They'll fit perfectly. Well, they do. They fit great on the rims, but the back spacing is different in the 6th gen, which I did not know. And there was a little bit of rubbing when I put these tires on the inside of the wheel well, right back there. So what we had to do was, by they're 5/16, actually, technically. I said 1/4 inch in the beginning, but they are 5/16 inch spacers that we put. And what that did was it moved the wheel out so it wouldn't rub on the inside of the wheel well. Now, this tire is a 35 sidewall as opposed to a 30, which comes on this car stock. So stock is 305 30/20s, and these are 315 35/20. That's where the rubbing issue occurred. Now, honestly, I probably could have done just a 305 30/20 drag radial, but I wanted the thicker sidewall, you know, because the thicker the sidewall, obviously, you know, you air it down and everything like that. You want the tire to have some give to it, so it wrinkles up when you come off the line. But either way, I did air these down at the track too. I aired them down to like 16 psi, so when I would do a burnout, it would warm up to maybe around 17 or 18. And yeah, I mean, I had decent success. It's not like it was bad. I still set a world record. Unfortunately, it wasn't as fast as I had hoped. However, I'm going to be going back to the track probably to beat my record. So the other times I ran were solid. It was pretty solid. It was 11.2. I ran 2 back-to-back 11.2 passes with a very similar 60-foot, which is interesting. So I ran a 1.8 60-foot the entire time. You can see 1.8, 1.8, 1.8. It was consistent with my 60-foot. It was just everything in between that kind of played a part in that. Hopefully, I can beat this record coming up soon. I also plan to do a stock bolt-on world record as well, because once I start modifying the car, we'll set a record for that as well. So it should be pretty cool. But there it is. There's the record to beat, 11.1. Shouldn't be that hard, maybe, I don't know. So basically when I ran this car, I used the line lock obviously to do a burnout, works great. And then when I roll up to the front, I didn't use any sort of launch control whatsoever on this car. The car has built-in launch control and the electronic limited slip differential in the back. You can actually tell the computer how much wheel slip you want it to have or not have. So I didn't want anything, I didn't want the computer doing anything for me. I turned everything off and literally just bare bones. So that's usually how you get a faster time. If you want to get more consistent times is when you want to use that sort of thing like the launch control, or maybe you're on the street or something like that. But when you're on the track, you usually want to turn all that off. So that's what I did, and it seemed to work pretty well. Anyways guys, thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned for a lot of different stuff coming with this car and my 5th gen ZL1. There's going to be a lot of cool things happening this year. Follow me on Instagram. I do post a lot of things of both cars, and you can also follow me on Snapchat. All of my social media will be in the description. Please give this video a thumbs up, and a special thanks to the guy behind the camera, Pat Roel. I'll have all of his info in the description too. He does photography. I'm sure some of you guys have seen some of the shots of this car, and he does all that. Great guy. Check him out. Instagram, YouTube. He's got his own channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button. Have a great day.